Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to my very first ever battle in the LVT-4-40, the first premium reward that you can get in the new Battle Pass season. And the question is it worth it? How good is it? How do you play it? And how can you counter it? So first of all, this is a French light tank of rank 2, battle rating 2.3 with a premium status. Premiums only begin to make their premium status making work of rank 4 and up, and so you don't really get that many silver lines for each individual kill. More on this in just a moment when we look at the results. So let's talk about the armor, because it's really thin and quickly talked about. It's 6.35 millimeters of rolled homogeneous armor. That's a quarter of an inch, and this is all around the tank. The gun shield, the side plating, the front plating. There are three notable exceptions, and that is the lower glacis, because there is a double layer of 6.35 and it's angled, and behind that is the transmission, and from the profile from the front that makes the overwhelming majority of stuff of hitting area. Then we have the flat front plate, which has 12.7 millimeters, and then there is the gun shield, which again is 6.35 millimeters, but has a lot of gaps where you then can even gun down the gunner and the loader with even light machine gun fire from the front. So the armor isn't really that great. So it's a light tank, so it has to be really mobile. Well, not quite, because the horsepower to ton ratio is only 14.7 and you have narrow tracks. And with a 250 horsepower strong engine, you have to propel a massive, huge chassis which weighs overall 17 tons. So that is also not the greatest idea about the light tank. Top speed is limited to 40 km per hour, and in reverse it's an abysmal 5 km per hour. And that leaves, out of the three main factors, only one remaining. And you kind of could see it already. It's the firepower and the gun handling, which is just absolutely filthy for this battle rating. Again, battle rating 2.3 of rank 2, and you have a 40mm Bofors L60 with 384 rounds of ammunition and 120 rounds per minute rate of fire. And if that is not a high enough rate of fire, you have two, I repeat, two 50 cal heavy machine guns in coaxial mountings with 2,400 rounds. And then we come to the gun handling. The only bad thing, and I want to start this right away because it's the most important statistics, is the gun depression. It's only -3 degrees. You still can make it work, as I shall demonstrate, and you can make it work because then you can just be sloped down on a hill or so, because you have 87 degrees of gun elevation, which not only means that you can almost have the perfect handling against tanks, but also obviously aircraft, because it's an aircraft mounting. And that sounds a little bit similar to the American M15 CGMC of battle rating 1.7. It also has two coaxial heavy machine guns, but as the main cannon, the 37mm M1A2 cannon, which has massively less penetration. Talking about the penetration, for the 40mm Bofors, we have over 70mm of penetration, and for the heavy machine guns, you have a mixed belt, but the best penetration is also 31mm, and that helps you quite a lot to strafe, not just attack aircraft, where you have both the Alpha Strike and the DPM, but also versus tanks, where you just even can mow down the potato vodka delivering potato trucks. I don't know. So you go through very thin armor, really easy, but if there is a bit of armor for the majority of tanks at this battle rating, even an up tier, you have no problem punching through it with the high rate of fire of the 40mm Bofors. It's quote-unquote only AP, but it does the job. The rate of fire, and then there is the gun handling itself, where we have to talk about the turret rotation speed, which is absolutely fantastic. And it is, let me look it up, 35 degrees per second for a fully experted ace crew. And you also have 20 degrees per second of gun elevation speed. So to get the gun on target is not the problem, except for the gun depression. You have both Alpha Strike, you have also the DPM. There is just nothing wrong about it. And so for experienced players that know the positions, know how to get into there, they have unlimited firepower. They can defend themselves from almost everything. And so it's just that you don't overdo it with the tasks that you have to fulfill, right? Like attacking multiple enemies at once. Because again, the armor doesn't really, how should I say it, forgive it if you get shot at, except for the size of the tank, where then normal AP from another SPA can be kind of absorbed, or you have to kill the crew. And that is maybe the last factor, that you have 5 crew, where you have 2 mounting the commander and the gunner in the turret. You have on the very back of the tank the lonely loader, and then you have a machine gunner, funnily, next to the driver. I don't know how he can gun from there, but I guess it's more like a radio operator in real life, but here in War Thunder. And those two, as I said, are both protected by the double layer of angled armor, although it's thin, and more importantly, the transmission, which then can kind of protect the tank from hull break to a certain degree. Although the very first rule is shoot at the enemy first. So that already raises the question, is this thing overpowered? And I think that if you are really going into the business of getting as good as possible KD, this thing is one of the best tanks I can think of in War Thunder. Then for a new player countering this, if you are not really absolutely familiar with the game mechanics of War Thunder, you know, knocking out the crew, where to shoot, and you're also not very quick on the trigger, maybe your tank is much slower in turret rotation speed and you have problems getting the gun on target, then you have really a lot of problems countering this thing. And again, remember, the gun handling allows this to be highly effective versus aircraft. And yeah, this guy wanted to run from the front line, but I am, as a French tank commander, having none of that. That's my job. Dealing with those guys, obviously. Okay, anyway. No, it's absolutely fantastic, and I heavily can recommend it. And if I'm not wrong, this one you can also get for free. And the battle rating... No, not the battle rating. The battle pass level is 14, where you can get it. And the Yasmin camouflage is battle pass level 16, and you get it directly to your account, so it's not tradable. So that is good news. There is nothing wrong with it. And if you really want to have some dirty fun in War Thunder, in ground RP at low battle rating, this is it. Yeah, I just survived the bomb. It was granted a very small one, might have been, I don't know, 10 kilo firecracker, I don't know. Yeah, it cost me my loader, but it's no big deal. So I heard the aircraft, but I didn't see him coming, so it's still in theory counterable. Now, a very important thing comes now. If you're a very good player and you want to have some fun, how much do you earn with this? I had now exactly 10 kills, I survived, and I also have the heavy metal hero, and well, I won the battle with a premium account, so 53,000 silver lines and 6,300 RP are not really bad. But over a third from the overall silver lines come from the awards. You know, they give me 7,500 each for the epic ones, and the other ones with a few hundreds here and there. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I can highly recommend this thing, and that is it for me today. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a like if you did. It means the world for me. For you, it's just a click. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.